What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks here on Scores and Odds. If you haven't checked out Scores and Odds yet, you're making bad life choices. Just go over there, sign up. It's that simple, and just let the money roll. And we got picks every single day on most games. We got March Madness, which I think we've been doing well at. I don't know. I don't pay too much attention to March Madness, but we've been crushing it on NBA. You got my picks every day. You'll get access to Grant's Action Lounge. Let's go to scoresandodds.com/Discord. Sign up there, and you'll get access to Grant's Action Lounge once it goes premium, which will be happening soon enough. But yeah, just great content. I mean, we got a line shopping tool for props. You can see where the best and worst line is, and you can see where RG projections are at with all these lines. So I can see that Gary Trent Jr. is projected for 20.41 by RG projections, and the best line out there is 17.5 minus 118 over on MGM. So just that alone and the Grant's Action Lounge should be way more than enough to pay off your whatever it called subscription prices. But I am joined by a guy that is on the show fairly often, gives out some winners sometimes, crushed it the other night with Cat going for 50, and Dean liked the 40 plus, talked me onto it, made me a few grand. Daniel Chevelson, how you doing there, my friend?
What's up, Grant? How are things in your world? We have you mentioned the March Madness, and that's obviously, ruffling the feathers of the NBA schedule. It's one game on Thursday, and then 12 on Wednesday, and 12 more big ones today. So I don't know how much time we have for pleasantries because it's a big boy slate.
It is a big boy slate. We got 12 games here. I've been betting like a fiend. I don't know if that's true. I can't remember. I don't know.
I think you're editing yourself a couple times, and you kept like, I shouldn't do that one. No, I shouldn't do that one.
Yeah, no, you are not incorrect, but I've got a boatload of bets. Yesterday, went 1-on-1 on props, sitting at, what is our record? We are currently up 16.6K. That is 33 units so far on this thing at 54% win rate, but
sweet
win rate really doesn't matter when it comes to props, because you can have a massive win rate, but if you're only betting like minus 170 props, it really doesn't mean too much. So, I mean, I have enough positive like plus 240 juice bets that I'm just going off of profit, which, I mean, we're sitting at a 10% ROI this month, which really not too bad. We're almost 11%. Nothing to scoff at, and it's higher than that for props because I've gotten crushed on boosts so far. But that's just what happens when you're betting plus 1,000, plus 2,500 boosts. You're going to get crushed occasionally. But yeah, we got a big old slate here. You ready to dive on in?
Yeah, let's do it. It's a lot going on, man. I'm still kind of breaking down the slate, obviously, on the fly, and we'll have some discussions about some certain players, I'm sure. And obviously, it's the association. There's a lot of players that are currently questionable, and there's a lot of things we can't really talk about. Like, it's hard to give it a thought because we don't have the full information. A lot of studs are questionable today. SGA is questionable. Joel Embiid in the very first game, we're going game by game, is questionable. LeBron questionable. Trae Young questionable. De'Aaron Fox, Jimmy Butler. But we're going to do our best. The best we can do here at 2:00 on the East Coast.
Yeah. Sorry, and I'm sending out the link because I gotta do all that stuff and whatnot. So yeah, I'm ready to roll. Dallas, Philly. I have one bet. I have Dorian Finney-Smith, I think, over 1.5 rebounds. 1.5 assists sitting at plus 120. It should be minus 110. So there's just a bad line. I don't expect you to have any real input on it because obviously you haven't looked at every single little number. That's really all I've got. Do you have any bets in this game?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I kind of talked about all the injuries. Embiid currently questionable, and then that kind of halts everything as far as the player props out there. And, of course, if Embiid is ruled out and you can somehow find James Harden at what his standard number is, like bet overs and everything. But I don't know how fast you can be on the gun on that one. You always talk about how the sites have gotten better at that as far as taking players down. You got a 30-second window or something like that if you can pounce.
Oh, it's less than that. It's like a 12-second window.
Yeah, you got to be quick. But yeah, and then that kind of halts the entire Philadelphia side. For what it's worth, I did check our projections for DFS. He's got 1.64 projected assists, and you're getting plus money on it. So just knowing that seems like okay, that's a good bet, and that's like you say it's basically a coin toss and you're getting plus odds. If you tell me I can get heads at plus 120, I'll bet it all day long.
So he's hit it in 7 of the last 9 too, or 7 of the last 8. So, I mean, I know that he's barely hit it, and during that time he's averaging, strangely enough, less than 2 assists a game. Because he had exactly 2 and 2 for 6 games in a row. But yeah, it's just a bad line. But really, that's it. Like, we don't know about the news. But yeah, be waiting. Like, smart move is just wait around for the lines to change or the news to come out for Embiid. You just keep FanDuel open, and you have the Harden over points, alt points, 30 plus, 40 plus. You have all those ready to go, and then you just wait for the moment, and you hit bam, press it, and should be a pretty good ROI number. Next game, we got Memphis versus Atlanta. Another game. I've got nothing. I don't think I have a single bet. I don't think there are many odds out right now for this game.
Trey Unquestionable is holding up Atlanta, obviously.
Yeah, but we don't really. Bane finally. Bane's sitting at 17.5 over on FanDuel now. Line just came out, so that could potentially.
How sad did Bane make us the other day where he smashed too hard and Memphis absolutely annihilated. I can't remember who they played, but they're up at like 25 or 30 or so, and Bane, it was a blowout, and he was crushing his number, and I don't know if he got to his official number, but we had some alt stuff we were talking about, and didn't quite get there, unfortunately, and Brooks, tanked out. He was like the one guy in the Grizzlies that wasn't great.
Yeah. Well, Bane played 23 minutes and he had 21 points. I had the 30 plus, I had 25 plus, I had all his alt overs. And so, I was not very happy about that. I mean, still, he hit his points, rebounds, assists, he has points. So he made me money still, but he would have made me a ton of money. I just hit Bane over 17.5. You can see it there on the screen, plus 100 over at FanDuel. Bane over 17.5 points. 0.
The problem, of course, is Ja is back, so everybody gets pulled down to some degree. And like that number for Bane is dropped from 20.5 to 17.5, so it's kind of baked in. So you can fire at it. But Memphis runs these weird rotations where like you'll see Triple J sometimes just play like 12 minutes in the first half, not foul trouble, just 12 minutes, not even close. They run 10, 11 guys sometimes. It's just they're not suitable for DFS. They're not suitable for betting a lot of times. But No, I very much agree. But that number is just too low at 7. It should be 18.5. So getting a full point makes it pretty solid, especially when you get over 17.5 at plus 100. I mean, Bane's hit 20 plus, and I think 4 of the last 5. Let's see, and Ja's been there for all but 1. Yeah.
Matchup versus Atlanta is pretty solid. Yeah, 21, 21, 12, 22, 28, 24. 17. Like Bane's been on a tear recently. That number's just bad. That's a bad number.
We can say the same thing about Atlanta as far as the Trae Young thing of Young and Gallinari are both questionable. Of course, if Young is out, a guy like Bogdanović should benefit. A guy like Herter should benefit. Like Collins essentially out for the season. I think he's gonna be. Well, we'll see. He's got a finger on a foot, so he's donezo. Maybe he'll come back for the playoffs. We'll see. But we're just in wait and see mode as far as Atlanta, and there's not much you can do. And the same sort of story with Harden and Embiid, right? Although there's not like a direct, obvious Harden. There's no 1A, 1B on Atlanta. It's just a bunch of other guys that gets incremental bumps.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next game. We got Portland versus Brooklyn. I may have gone overboard on this game if I remember correctly.
What'd you go overboard with?
Trenton Wofford over 23.5 points, rebounds, assists. Over 1.5 total turnovers and over 6.5 rebounds, if I remember correctly. Where is it? Did I hit it twice? Ooh, I might have hit Wofford a few times. Over 6.5 rebounds. I'm entirely. It's my favorite bet of the day. I think I might have actually done that intentionally. I really like his line here. 23.5.
Tell me why Wofford's your favorite play.
Have you seen what he's been doing recently?
Yeah, he's been good. He's been solid.
He's been really good. I mean, his points, rebounds, assist line is sitting at 23.5. He's had 22 plus points in 3 of the last 4. He's getting a boatload of boards. They're playing him tons of minutes. Like if this game stays close, he absolutely crushes it. But I think he can hit it in 3 quarters.
So what's the interesting thing to say about if this game stays close? Of course, Portland, one of the worst teams in basketball, if not the worst team in basketball. They lost by 30 points last game to New York. And you know how many minutes of the fourth quarter Wofford played? 12, every single one of them. He started the game and he closed the game, and I'm not sure you can count on that, but there is that opportunity, right?
I'm projecting a minimum of 30 minutes.
Yeah, he ended up playing 32 minutes. He got his minutes cut short a little bit in the third quarter. I'm not really sure why. I don't know if it was foul trouble related, or he did have 4 fouls in the game for the entirety. So maybe that's what it was.
I think he was in foul trouble.
I'm not certain. But it's just sort of interesting. It's trying to predict what Portland's doing. They're not necessarily trying to win. They're just playing out the string, and like why not see what you have in Watford? What's the harm in that, as opposed to playing, I don't know, Drew Eubanks or something like that. You kind of sort of know what he is. But and the matchup is okay. You want it to stay close, but Brooklyn on the inside, it's a team that they'll yield some points there. It's just interesting that he's so funny on a 12-game slate, and I understand why he's your favorite, but it's funny that's your guy. He's your favorite play of the day.
Yeah, no, it's wild. I just have all his bets, and I mean his turnover sitting at 1.5 at plus 140. Count me in, and then I guess that's it. I just went wild on Watford, and I might
talk about Durant the pre-show. What do you think of Durant? Because the number is pretty big. Like, obviously, the Portland matchup is awesome. It's an Allen game.
Too worried about a blowout.
What's that?
Yeah, too worried about a blowout for him. Like, that line, he needs to be playing. He averages 32 points per 36 without Kyrie and Harden on the court. So, assuming a blowout, he should average around 28 points, which isn't going to get you there. So, if you assume a 50% chance of a blowout, which is probably about right, 50% chance he hits the under, and then a 75% chance on the other 50% they hits the over. So realistically, I'm probably more interested in the under, but I think it's a line that I'm just staying away from.
Yeah, I mean, if you force me to pick, I would take over 30.5, but I mean, it's not. Again, it's a tricky bet. And I don't mind his assist either against Portland too. I just think he's gonna be heavily
involved. He's dishing out a ton. Yeah, he was dishing.
That might be the better bet.
The last game, if I remember correctly. Let's see what his assist prop is sitting at. These assists are sitting at 6.5. You can get it minus 113 over at Bet Rivers. Point and assist probably going to be 36.5, 37.5, depending on where. 37.5. You can get the over at minus 106 over at FanDuel. Yeah, I don't hate those. I'm just not betting them, and I've already got $14K on the line today, so I don't really need to.
Why so little?
Yeah, I mean, because it's early on in the day. I'll be putting out more bet.
Seth Curry's back, by the way. You're expected to be back for what it's worth.
Yeah, that's going to eat into his usage a little bit. Might eat into Dragic stuff a little bit, but I still think Dragic ends up playing 35 minutes.
Well, I was thinking more assist potential.
Yeah, that's true. Let's move on to the next game. Cleveland going up against Denver. I like the Jokic over 24.5 points. I know it's a tough matchup, but his points prop has dropped about 2. It's generally sitting at 26.5. So I like that over. I took the under on Evan Mobley steals plus blocks. I think I took that. Let's see. Gosh, it's so tough to. Yeah, under 2.5 steals plus blocks, sitting at plus 100. I don't see Jokic getting that many times. So I know Mobley's good and he's going to be on Jokic and the volume has been there. But I think the under is probably the better play. Marking in over 0.5 turnovers. I don't love that, but I bet it's at minus 170.
Jeez.
Yeah. Like I assume they hit this at about a 6% clip. Looking at the last 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 games, he's hit that in all but 2. So,
have you faced Mobley yet? Have they faced each other?
I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like they have. I think they have. I'm just curious because obviously Mobley, just an incredible defender at his age, just in general. But yes, they did face each other one time. This is the second time I'm pulling up. I'm just curious what Jokic did against Cleveland, against Mobley. Let's see. He was like not amazing. 19 rebounds, but 24 points and 3 assists. That's not amazing somehow. But it's Jokic, and
that's just a really good line for a normal person.
Games. Only 3 assists is interesting. I'd be curious to see what his potential assists were that game. But that's just interesting. And again, it's 1 game sample. Just obviously Cleveland's not an ideal matchup in general, but Jokic is essentially about as matchup proof as it gets. He's so versatile with the things he can do. I was just curious.
Yeah. But that's basically all I've got. You got any bets?
No. I think Garland seems kind of interesting to me. I'm not sure what the numbers are. If it's right at the number, I'm going to try to pull it up right now on the fly. You happen to have it as far as Garland?
23.5 minus 118 on the over. I'd be more interested in his assists, I assume. 9.5. He's had 10 plus in 4 of the last 6 games. You can get it plus 108. I don't hate that over at FanDuel, but not one I'm going with. His PRA line sitting at minus 125 on the over at 36.5. I'd probably go with 37.5. Bet Rivers minus 105. Bet Rivers or Barstool, whichever one is in your, or Twin Spires, whichever one's in your state. It's all the same.
So here's the thing. Cleveland is playing very meaningful games right now, right? And they, if you look at the minutes for Garland, 38, 46, 42, 36, 37, 34, 43, 33, 30. It's insane. The minutes are incredible for him. And why do I say the games are meaningful for Cleveland right now? You desperately want to get out. You want to get out of that play-in game nonsense, right? They're on the cusp. They have the same exact record right now as Toronto. They're the 6. Toronto's the 7. We'll talk about Toronto. Obviously, Toronto, they push their minutes like crazy all the time. Like Nick Nurse was doing all season long. And he's going to keep doing it because they want to get out of that 7 spot. That's a crucial thing to do. And the thing is, you're going to have to battle with Brooklyn at some point, which is not ideal. Just sort of jockeying back and forth, that kind of thing. But I think they would want to avoid that. And Garland's going to play at least 35 minutes tonight. And there's a ceiling for 40 minutes or so. I know Denver's not the greatest matchup, but I'm not running away from it. And he runs that entire offense. So I think Garland overs tonight are pretty interesting.
Yeah. I mean, if we look at, let's see.
Our projection has it over as far as points, 25.47. What'd you say the over under on Garland was? 22.5? What's it?
Let me see. 23.5.
Okay. For what it's worth, points last so many games, 22, 24, 25, 24, 41, 17, 26, 33, 30, 27, 27. He's getting over a lot. Big usage numbers.
Yep. I definitely don't hate that. I'm just not going with it. Let's move on to the next game here. We got Washington going up against the Knicks. I got a few bets here, a lot of weird ones. Mitch Robb over 0.5 turnovers. I got Julius Randle over 5.5 assists. That's not weird, but you can get it plus 130. Just bad line there. Classic Caesars, just throwing out bad lines. They do that a lot. Porzingis over 1.5. Huh?
They let you bet? I know you don't take your bets a lot of times.
No, I'm not in Colorado. I'm going to be in Arizona, though, for a little bit. So, I'm firing things up there. Same with MGM.
You're all over the place, man.
Yeah, Porzingis. Well, I'm going down to, after this podcast, I'm going down to Palm Springs, golfing for a few days, then going over to Phoenix, golfing, spring training. Then I'm going up to Vegas with my bachelor party, and hopefully I live through that.
You got the spring training games you're going to?
Yeah, it looks like it. We were thinking about it, and then now it's happening. So yeah, we'll figure some out.
Cool.
Yeah. In any case, Porzingis over 1.5 blocks. That might be it. Kuzma over 18.5 points. I hit just before this show, sitting at minus 110 over on DK. But yeah, I pretty much like my favorite bet is Julius Randle over 5.5 assists. It's not a bad matchup. Don't really have anyone that'll be able to stop him. He's been pretty off and on recently. The assist numbers, he's hit 6 in 2 of the last 3, had 4 and 5 in the other 2. So he's playing pretty decent. Getting at plus 130, I think it has right about a 50% chance of hitting, offering some pretty decent ROI. But yeah, the Porzingis number of over 1.5 blocks, just fun. Just fun at plus 180.
Do you not like RJ Barrett, or you think the number is kind of where it should be?
Numbers where it should be. 24.5 is pretty much exactly where it should be. Let's see. He's hit that, I think, at about a 50% clip recently. He's been off and on with shooting. 20, yeah, so 31, 24, 23, 18, 29, 24, 20, 30, 24, 46. He's hit it like at a 50% clip. Granted, he's been right on or under a 50% clip, but he's been right on that line, done in by the hook recently. It's not bad. It's probably a plus matchup for them. They got 115.5 implied total, so it's fine. I'm staying away.
Yeah, I like Barrett a little bit over, and New York probably still thinks they have a chance to make the playoffs. So I mean they're giving him 40 minutes basically. It's hard to project 40 minutes, but that's kind of where he's getting there. He was 40 minutes last game, like in a blowout. And Washington obviously subpar team. New York is 4 or 5 games out of the 10 spot.
Yeah, New York and the Wizards are both sitting right next to each other, so
yeah,
it's unlikely.
It's unlikely, but tell that to Tibbs because he doesn't care. Not now, at least.
Yeah, but that's really all I've got for that one. Let's go Lakers, Toronto, and my favorite bets are Gary Trent Jr. over 17.5 points. RG loves the over on that. And then Gary Trent Jr. over 2.5, 3. RG loves the over on that. So yeah, I'm definitely on board for both of those. Outside of that, not a ton of love. Yeah, like Lakers side, who knows? I
mean, LeBron's questionable, and I'm not sure if he's going to play or not. He tends to play in these questionable games. It's an island game. It's an island game basically for every. No, it's not an island game. It's the front of a back-to-back for the Lakers. Nobody played yesterday. It's playing tonight. Cleveland, Dallas, the Lakers, and Washington all play tomorrow, for what it's worth, as far as it's the front end of a back-to-back. And then the Lakers are in the midst of a 3 of 4, for what it's worth. So, I mean, they play Washington tomorrow night. I don't know. I don't know if LeBron's going to play or not. And you can't really do anything with that right now because he's the entire team. Everybody else around him is awful. And, what's to say? They're terrible defensively, so I'm happy to bet the overs on the Toronto side. FEV's playing hurt, and it looks, he hasn't really had incredible games. So I probably would be on top of him. So I like Trent, like you said, to have a big game. Maybe get some alts on his threes. Maybe get some alts on his total points. But I'm on board with that.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next game. We got Indy versus Houston. Big old 241.5 total, just way up there. I feel like I should like more, but all I've got is Brogdon over 31.5 points, rebounds, assists, and Brissett under 18.5 points, rebounds, assists. I mean, you mentioned before the show, hopefully Goga ends up playing, or else who knows. But Jalen Smith is there sitting around. He'll mess around and play some minutes. But Halliburton's lines, all the other lines, seem to be about where they should be.
Yeah, the Brogdon one is weird too because he's been, he's had his moments of just driving out there. It hasn't been spectacular in the last so many games, but he played against Cleveland. It was a blowout against Memphis. Those things kind of happen, but this game against Houston is prime for a big game out of Brogdon. Indiana, not really going anywhere obviously this season, but maybe, there's no reason to think they wouldn't give him standard minutes at this point. And then, later on in the season, we'll kind of push him down to some degree. But I like the Brogdon overs. He's my favorite play on that side. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about Brissett unders just because the matchup is very good. And Indiana is thin as far as their bigs, and they can get even thinner as far as their bigs because Goga Batase is currently questionable. And they're just really small if they lose Batase. We've seen Taylor start at center, out of desperation earlier in the season. But he's not a big necessarily. Isaiah Jackson's out with his concussion. Of course, Turner's been out for the whole season. I don't know, man. Brissett's not good. It's not an endorsement that Brissett's a good play. I think Smith is my favorite, but I don't see any lines on him. I think I asked you about it before the show as far as Jalen Smith. I like his overs, especially if Batase doesn't go, but I don't know where there are any overs for him. I couldn't find any on DK.
Yeah, they don't have any anywhere.
Yeah, so if you can find him somewhere, assuming the number is reasonable. But you said you like Brogdon and Brissett under. What Brissett under just because he hasn't been performing spectacularly, but situation's a little bit different here.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm rolling with it. I bet it though. You can tell me or not. Up to you guys. Let's move on to the next game here. OKC going up against Miami. Not really a ton of lines out for this one. SGA is currently questionable, which kind of you can't put out any lines for OKC. And then Butler is questionable, which can't put out any lines for Miami. So I've got nothing.
Let me ask you this. The line right now, Miami is favored by 16, right? Like, can you get anything out of that? Or is it like if SGA doesn't play, what does that line go to? Like if assuming Butler plays and SGA does that line go to like 18?
It might, but I mean, I think it'll go to 17.5. If SGA plays, it'll bump down 2 points. So it's kind of where it should be. I don't think there's a ton of value on it right now.
You think it's a hedge right now by the books? They're just like, we're not sure, so we're going to kind of put it in the middle?
Yeah, I mean, it's they're putting it roughly where it should be, and they'll move it one direction or the other, probably 2 points based off of if SGA plays or not. I mean, I would assume he's worth about 4 points, so they put it in the middle, assuming it's a 50-50 shot that he ends up playing.
16.5 on FanDuel right now, by the way.
Wild stuff.
I don't know.
But if SGA ends up playing, then
it probably goes down to 14.5.
I mean, I'm checking out the games.
How many points is he worth? Because he is the entire team, essentially. Everybody else is just replacement player at best.
Yeah, it's sitting at 16, 16.5 over at MGM and FanDuel. Yeah, I don't know. I'm staying away. But if SG ends up playing, like, I'm still going to probably hit his points line. It's not currently out right now, but if it comes in at, like, I have to assume in the matchup it's going to come in at 26.5, 27.5. He's been hitting 30 regardless. I know Miami's great inside. I know they're great defenders. Obviously, Butler's out. That's going to be a tick down in their defense, and SGA becomes a better overall play. But, I mean, I can't bet against him. Like, I can't not bet on him every single game. He's just incredible right now.
He's hit over that number, 8 of the last 9, maybe 9 of the last 10 or something like that.
9 of the last 10, I believe.
Yeah. Miami's the team that stopped DeRozan's run, for what it's worth. It was also kind of a blowout, but yeah.
Well, that was also Levine was back.
Was Levine in that game?
Yeah, I believe so.
2 weeks ago or so? I'm not sure. But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, ideally, if you're betting over as an SGA, you want Butler to be out as well, But Miami just overall is a good defense. Obviously, Bam is still lurking. But yeah, if they put the number like 25.5 or 26 or even 26.5, like you should probably bet it over.
Yeah, I will. But like I said, the line's not out now, so be on the lookout for that. We got New Orleans going up against San Antonio. Big old total here. I like the over on Pirtle, over 25.5 points, rebounds, assists. I mean, solid overall matchup. Should need his minutes. I got Valanciunas overs, 32.5 points, rebounds, assists, 18.5 points. I think both of those are too low. San Antonio has been involved in some massive games recently in terms of points being scored. So those are the bets that I really like. I'm betting the bigs. I'm betting the bigs over, and then Herbert Jones under 2.5 assists. Don't really expect you to have any thoughts on that.
I don't have a read on Herbert Jones assists. I got to be honest. I have not dug into that. But, I mean, I'm assuming you just see a bad line or, good odds or whatever, and then you're pouncing.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. Like, it's just a bad line. He's hitting it at like a 60% clip, sitting at minus 120. So, averaging 2.25, I think, assists per game on the year. So yeah, that's basically it. Like, not really a ton to love there. You got anything?
I mean, Murray's gonna crush.
Did I bet the Murray? Oh, I know Smartwater. He was on some of the Murray lines. I probably should.
I like the over on the assists. It is 9.5, which I didn't love, but nobody in the league besides James Harden in the last 10 games, potential assists. DeJounte Murray is 19.8. The matchup here against New Orleans obviously is prime. I know Herb Jones is a good individual defender, and people like to say, he's solid, but, he's also been roasted plenty as well. And overall, that New Orleans defense is not spectacular. We're expecting, a high-scoring game here as well. I'm trying to think what I was looking at Murray for potential triple-double. It's tricky for him to get that rebound. He can, I suppose. Double-double, you're basically –
I don't mind the over on his rebounds at 7.5.
Okay, so that's the number. Yeah.
Let's see what you can get it at over on FanDuel. What's the triple-double line sitting at for him? Spurs.
What's double line for? I'm curious because I wonder if that's like a better bet than the assist bet, which is essentially kind of the same thing, but you also have the trapdoor of like rebounds you can get there.
Yeah, triple double, 10 plus rebounds, 10 plus assists, sitting at plus 332. Him to get a triple double is sitting at plus 360, so I roll with that. His double number is sitting at minus 240.
Yeah.
That's trash. I'd rather just go with the over on assists.
Yeah.
So stay away from that one.
Keldon Johnson's been wrecking a bit of late, and like it doesn't seem like a big deal, but like the absence of guys like KBD and like McDermott's done for the year, it makes San Antonio a little bit thinner. I just worth, because there's times where he would get squeezed. He's not really getting squeezed anymore. It's hard for him to get.
The problem is his points total is getting up to, it's at 19.5, which I know he's been hitting at over 50% clip. He's had 20 plus and for the last 6 games, I think. For the last 7, maybe. I bet his over on points on Wednesday. It hit pretty easily because that was a better matchup. This is a worse matchup, and the point total went up a full point. So I'm out. I don't hate it. You can get minus 104 over on FanDuel. That's probably like net 0. Like the juice is exactly where it should be at minus 104 to make it just a coin flip. In terms of if you're making money long-term on that or not. So I'm kind of out on that one.
Yeah. I mean, I was just looking at his minutes of late. Like they've really, like he's averaging 31, 32 in the season. And of late, again, the absence of so many guys, 35, 37, 37, 35, 32, 37. So, but fair enough.
Yeah, we haven't projected for 35 minutes. Like it's not a bad bet, but it's not a great bet. I don't know. I might end up hitting it. We'll see later on in the day. But as of right now, it doesn't offer a ton of value. Let's move on to the next game here. We got Clippers going up against Utah. Not a ton of lines out here yet. I hit the over of Royce O'Neal blocks at 0.5 plus 210 over at Caesars.
He'll be out there.
I hit Conley over points, rebounds, assists. I like that one a lot. Minus 112 over at Bet Rivers. Just too low of a line. I mean, he's averaging, I think, 29 per 36 without Mitchell on the floor. So solid overall line there. I really like Gobert over 13.5 rebounds. He's averaging 14.8 on the season. Just real simple. This is not a horrible spot. He should play the minutes. Should get more minutes without Mitchell in there. So 13.5 rebounds, just bad line. Do you have any bets in this game?
Yeah, a lot of stuff's not available as far as Utah. Again, they're super thin. They're without Mitchell. You mentioned no Bogdanovich. House is out. Azubuike is out as well. Of course, Trent Forrest doesn't seem like a big deal. Was ruled out earlier today. That's kind of a bigger deal for a guy like Jordan Clarkson, who we're currently projecting Jordan Clarkson to start, which you don't see very often. He plays starters minutes, in these kind of situations, even if he comes off the bench. The Conley one is interesting because Coach kind of talked about they've been wanting to ramp his minutes up to get him ready for the playoffs, and he's an old dude. They weren't pushing him too hard in the regular season. They've given him, spots to rest here, spots to rest there. So maybe we see him grab a few extra minutes, and like you said, the usage will be higher in the absence of Mitchell and Bogdanovich. I don't love the matchup against the Clippers. Clippers, are overachievers. They've just been better than they probably should be. They're not an ideal opponent, but they're perfectly fine. But Clarkson, we couldn't find any lines on him, right? We were talking about pre-show. I couldn't find any. Nothing's out there.
Nothing.
Okay, yeah, and I guess they're just kind of waiting to
double check to see if anything's changed, but
it's odd because there's no news we're waiting for. Like everybody's been ruled out. We're just waiting for a starting lineup, I guess, and it's not a huge deal if he starts or not starts. It's matters, but yeah, I agree with you as far as Conley. He's a guy that I never feel great about in the year 2022, but I think, he's going to be asked to do a little bit more. And again, they're trying to ramp him up a little bit. I think it was last game where he had 14 points in the first half and 0 in the second, for what it's worth. So that must have been a lot of fun if you bet the over on him, which is right in the bubble.
Well, his line's going to come in at 21.5, I believe.
Conley or Clarkson? You're talking Clarkson.
Clarkson.
Okay. Yeah. I was talking Conley, but go ahead.
Conley's sitting at 17.5, 15.5 with
okay.
plus 100 on the over with Bet Rivers and TK. Yeah, I'm staying away. I got nothing else. Should we move on to Boston?
Yeah, I got nothing on the Clippers side. It's my least favorite team.
I refuse. Yeah, I don't bet Clippers anymore. They have lost me.
Also,
Somewhere in
Covington
the
is
five
back,
figures.
so like it's gonna one more guy to muck stuff up. Covington is gonna be available tonight.
Yeah, no, I'm staying away. It's lazy, but not even. I just lose so much money. Even when things grade out as good plays, I'm just staying away. Boston going up against Sacramento. I like the under on Tatum turnovers. Under 2.5, getting it plus 105 over at MGM. I like the over of blocks plus steals. 1.5 for Jaylen Brown, setting it plus 155 over on Caesars. It's really simple. Like those two are just bad lines. Yeah, like that. I'm betting him. Tatum's hit the under on 2.5 and 7 of his last 10. Let's see. I just pulled it up here a second ago. 4, 2, 1, 2, 2, 6, 2, 2, 1. So that's 3, 6, 7. 7 for the last 9. He's hit the under, getting it plus odds. Sacramento's not a team that's going to be able to take the ball away from him too often. They're not good. On the Sacramento side, there's really not anything out because we don't know about De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
So nothing there. Do you got anything on either side?
Yeah. I mean, Sacramento, just kind of wait and see. Like you said, De'Aaron Fox is a big deal. He's currently questionable with his hand. On the Boston side, yeah, I don't really have any hot takes. Like they should be able to do whatever they want defensively or offensively, maybe defensively too. But yeah, it's I'm with you on what you said about Tatum. That sounded good to me, but otherwise, nothing really jumps out.
Yeah, let's move on to the last game of the night. Chicago going up against Phoenix. Don't really have a ton of bets here. I got some weird ones. Zach LaVine over 2.5 turnovers. Nice thing in this spot going up against Phoenix. Probably has Bridges on him. He's going to turn the ball over a few times. He's hitting it at a 60% clip over his last 8 games, I believe. Solid overall line at plus 105. I got Bridges over 0.5 blocks. They'll be stuck on someone that's going to shoot the ball a lot, either LaVine or DeRozan. He's the best defender there. He's one of the best defenders in the league. Had a block in 4 of the last 6 games, so solid overall line there, getting it at plus 185. It's just bad. It should be like plus 140. So yeah, that's the 2 lines that I really like in this game, and that's I think the only ones I have. You got anything in this spot?
I kind of like Phoenix to cover, just as a general thought. Like I think
5.5. Yeah, that's a solid line.
I think Phoenix wins this game by at least 6. I've said all year long that I think Chicago is kind of like overachievers. I've talked about how they had a really positive strength of schedule. They've, they had some pushover opponents earlier in the year, and I just feel like they've overachieved. And they're like Cleveland's another team too. Like there's a gap.
I think we have our movie bet. I'll take Chicago. You can have Phoenix.
Yeah. I still have to assign you a movie, and I still have to watch a movie from you. I'm behind.
Yeah, you still have to watch Lord of the Rings.
I will do it this weekend. That's the plan. I was not feeling well yesterday. I was going to do it yesterday, and I would have just been in and out, which is probably on.
Yeah, you would have fallen asleep.
But yeah, so you like the Bulls plus 5.5, or you're one that just take it?
Yeah, I have a slight lean toward. I don't think either of them are plus ROI. I slight lean towards Bulls. And I just want to make a bet. I bet with you.
Yeah. I think I've won the last. I feel like I've won the last couple. Because I owe you one, and there was what was the movie prior to that? Was it Memento? Boogie Nights. Oh, the greatest.
Yeah, you had me watch Boogie Nights, Memento, and you owe me one. I've had you watch Harry Potter, A Knight's Tale, and Lord of the Rings. So
who's the nice one amongst us? So it's pretty clear.
Well, I also gave you Wendell Carter Jr.'s line was sitting at 17.5 in some places, 18.5 in most places. I gave you 17.5. He hit 18.
Oh, so we're doing this. Oh my gosh.
Me being the nice one.
You were trying to get me to watch a Pokemon movie. So, or Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu.
Is this where the show? Is this where the gambling stuff is over and we talk nonsense to let people know if they're?
Yeah, guys. That's the bets. Again, go over to Scores, and I'm going to drop it in chat. Scoresandodds.com/Discord. Go in there. Grant's Action Lounge, just like all the bets I have today, all that are in this work paper, outside of the last ones I hit during this show, the Kuzma Conley, I'll throw those in right now. But all the lines from the show, telling you exactly what I got the lines at and where to find them, like literally just beautifully written out. We see this. Got it. Kyle Kuzma over 18.5 points, minus 110 DK. Boom. Perfect. Nice little package. Just go over there, sign up, and yeah, I'll be dropping bets in throughout the day, so you won't get a bad line if you're paying attention. It's that simple. But yeah, I need to figure out what movie do I want you to watch.
By the way, Josh Richardson is questionable for what it's worth. Again, we talk about San Antonio is pretty thin. I think they only have like 10. Yeah, they have 10 bodies right now. If Richardson doesn't play, he's been starting. I think Lonnie Walker would probably be the biggest benefactor. He might even jump in the starting lineup. Maybe Primo starts, who knows? But Walker probably closes depending on how good or bad they're playing. But yeah, like Walker's another guy who's been getting more run of late. He's been benefited from the lack of wings. Just throwing that out there. I'm not sure if Richardson's going to play or not. Who knows? But he's got a calf and he's questionable. Maybe Vassell, Walker, those guys get elevated a little bit.
Have you seen Into the Spider-Verse?
It's funny. I saw the first half of it and I fell asleep. I was liking it. I thought, this is pretty good. But I would like.
Wait, you said you're not a huge Marvel guy, right?
I want to go back and finish it. So if you assign me that, I would be good with that because
If you started, I'm not gonna. You're not. Have you seen Thor Ragnarok?
I've not.
That's the best Marvel movie by far. I'm going with that one.
Is that another 4-hour movie?
It's over 2 hours. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes, so not bad.
Okay, I have heard that people like that, and I'm like, really? That's really good? I can't believe.
So Chris Hemsworth is hilarious in it.
It's a comedy?
No, it's a Marvel movie, but Chris, they like whatever his name is, the guy who directed it. Thor Ragnarok. Who was the director? I can never remember how to pronounce his name. He's done a lot of stuff. Absolutely fantastic director. Waititi. I don't know if I got that right. You know who he is.
Okay. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure. I haven't seen. I don't delve into this world very often. So.
Well, you've seen him in other things. This guy.
I'm not watching your screen or anything.
No. He's been in quite a few things. Did you watch Free Guy?
Yes.
He was the boss.
Okay. Yeah, he looks familiar.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Guy is fantastic. And people were angry at him because he was in a 3-way kiss. Ooh.
What?
Ooh. Yeah.
Like on screen or in his personal life?
In his personal life.
Okay. I know nothing about this, but
with Rita Ora and Tessa Thompson.
Why do people care?
I don't know, but I love Rita Ora and I love Tessa Thompson.
Who's Rita Ora? Do you know who that is?
Probably not.
She's a pop singer?
She's a pop singer.
No clue who she is. I'm sure she's spectacular.
Yeah. He's been dating Rita Ora, and Tessa Thompson was in Thor Ragnarok and all the
That's
Thor
probably
movies.
where he met her.
Yeah, I would assume so. But yeah. You got any movie to assign me?
No, well, I'll take it to Twitter. I owe you one, and I'll owe you another one. So we'll see how it goes. But I absolutely have one in layaway, and we'll throw it on Twitter. I'll do it now, I guess. We'll have the people speak. Give me some recommendations. I'm trying to think. What have you not seen that I really really like? And again, I've been too kind to you. I feel like, but the hiccup is like I have to recommend a movie that is something that I like, and the problem is like you like bad movies, and this is why I never should have got involved in this with you because this does not work out for me. But that's just kind of where I'm at, and I'm pot committed to it. I suppose
I'm giving you some great movies.
I have Disney Plus, and I think I watched one movie on Disney Plus, and it was that terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger doll movie. And I guess Thor Ragnarok's got to be on there too because that's Marvel, right? I'm assuming that's where I can find it.
Yeah. So I think every movie I've given you is over 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
There's no way, who Pikachu or whatever? What was the one you liked?
Detective Pikachu. That you've actually watched.
That's not good for me. I would not enjoy it.
Every single movie I've given you has been 79% plus on Rotten Tomatoes. Both Detective Pikachu and A Knight's Tale were at 79%.
Critics and audience?
Audience.
All right.
So if you want, we can start adding the preface of 70% plus on Rotten Tomatoes by either the critics or the audience.
Just not like 20. Well, the problem is like, yeah, like it's like 12-year-olds are saying they like Pikachu, you know? But
I gave you Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I know critics like that.
Knight's Tale was fantastic. Detective Pikachu is the only one I've given you that like
that was being
it's like it's more probably. But I was trying to give you like really good ones of Ryan Reynolds, and I was just stuck on that. So good thing you won.
Yeah, I haven't really. Oh, you know what we were talking about this the other day, gambling movies. So, I can give you a good. Have you seen Owning Mahoney?
I don't think so.
Are you aware of Owning Mahoney?
No.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. He plays. It's a. I don't want to give too much away, but it is based on a true story about a guy in Canada, I believe, and he plays just a gambling addict, basically. Awesome. I love Philip Seymour Hoffman. I'm not sure. I assume you're a fan of Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I'm not a huge fan, but I like him. I don't go out of my way to watch his movies, but yeah, he's good in everything I see with him.
Yeah, he was spectacular and just incredible actor. And yeah, like I gave you Boogie Nights, and like if you run down his IMDb, like the movies he's in, I don't know, he's just so good.
Let's see, what movies of his have I seen? Looking it up right now.
Here.
Hunger Games, obviously. Along Came Polly. He was fantastic in that.
Scoreboard. What does he say when he shoots the ball?
Iceman, let it rain.
There it is.
Obviously, Twister, fantastic. Hunger Games. I actually like the Hunger Games.
I'm going to change my recommendation, by the way. There's a better one that nobody's seen before, and like the people need to know about it.
Patch Adams.
No, I didn't know he was in Patch Adams. I have seen Patch Adams. It was a long time ago. I feel like I saw it in the theaters, like 20 years ago. When did that come out? 98? 97?
98 is correct. Yeah.
Nailed it. Yeah. The Master, he was incredible in. I don't want. It's a little. It could be a little long, I think, but I think he was incredible in that movie. So, have you seen Before the Devil Knows You're Dead?
I don't.
It's incredible. Like, it's one of those movies. Like, I don't know why people don't talk about this movie. It's fabulous. Awesome cast. Marissa Tomei. Ethan Hawke is spectacular. Amy Ryan's in it. Albert Finney. But I don't just go in cold. It's just an incredible movie. Philip Seymour Hoffman is amazing in it. I don't know where it's available, but this is the one you want to lose this bet. I'm telling you, it's worth it to lose this.
I think it's available on Hulu, which I have Hulu Live TV, so I should be good.
Good. All right. I would give you the $5. You needed the $5. You don't need it, but you know what
I
I mean.
mean, I figure we're just paying for it. Like, it's just whoever lands on it.
Yeah, I paid the $5 for Knight's Tale or whatever it was.
Yeah, like I paid the $5 for Boogie Nights. It is what it is. It's $5, and like if the other person suggested, generally that means it's a good movie.
I'm telling you, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead is like, for whatever reason, it's kind of lost in history. You're gonna love it. It's awesome. It's I don't want to say anything before. I'm excited for you to watch it. I hope you lose.
Nice. All right. Well, that should just about do it for the show. I gotta go eat Chipotle because I'm hungry. I'm a hungry guy. And then I gotta go drive. Huh?
Well, you're gonna hold on. Not to cut you off. I know you gotta go, but you're gonna eat Chipotle and then take a road trip.
Yep.
Oh man, like you are a gambler for sure. In all facets of life.
I mean, if I had $1 for every time I almost crap myself on a road trip, I'd have a lot of dollars.
But why? So is it like just like a fun challenge? Like what?
I just eat what I like.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Chipotle for some reason doesn't get me bad.
Okay, fair enough. What's your go-to?
Yeah.
Do you have an order?
Generally, I go with a burrito bowl. I go with rice, steak, double corn, double pico, guac, double cheese, sour cream, and then I get 3 taco shells on the side and 2 tortillas on the side, and so I make 3 meals.
That's so cute. You know they charge extra for the guac, right?
Yes, I can afford it now.
Well, enjoy Palm Springs. That sounds like good times. Is that your credit card points?
No, in-law. well, future in-law, has a house down there. So going to go golf, and then Phoenix, my brother's down there, and then Vegas, my bachelor party. So
wait, when are you on the road for like the next 10 days or something?
Until the 3rd or 4th of April. Yeah.
Oh man, so you're gonna be all over the place. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'll still be doing these shows every day, and I'll still be like, I think there's 3 days where I'm in California where I'm not actually betting, but that's it.
Will you be in a robe at some point?
I'm always in a robe.
Well, good luck.
Yeah,
man.
we might
Have a good time.
We might do a few days at a Harrah's resort in near Phoenix, because I get free nights there.
What your bachelor party, by the way? It's on the weekend, I presume. You're not going to be doing like a show the next morning.
No, I mean it's Thursday through Sunday. I might do a show on Thursday, but last Friday of this month, I'm probably taking it off. We'll see if we can find someone to take over, or I'll do it from the golf course, pounding beers.
People would want to see that probably.
I mean, I probably will do that, because why not? But yeah. What's going on?
There's like a lawnmower or something like that outdoor. Yeah, we should probably say holler.
All right, guys, it's been fun. We're out of here. Thank you.